Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kalandre Eggleston, and today I'm just starting out my new channel, which is called And Then There Was One. And I know it kind of seems maybe a little confusing to people when you first hear it, but soon, if you keep following along with me, you'll understand. And it's a very important meaning. And honestly, I think it's the meaning behind everything that we do in life. And the trials and tribulations we go through and whatnot. Today, I'm just here to speak a little bit of wisdom to you guys. Not by far, not a perfect person. I have my flaws. But I do feel that I am developing a close relationship with my Creator, who is Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the only Son. And I know for a lot of people, a lot of parts of the world, they believe in the Muslim religion, and this is definitely no shade to the people that are Muslim and they worship their religion. Honestly, I believe um, that if that works for them, whatever brings you closer to God, that's the best one. I once heard someone had a near-death experience, and they asked the light, who is God as we perceive him, the great light, what is the best religion to get closest to you? And he said, whichever one brings you closest to him. So, with that being said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong religion. As long as you're into religion, I think that we need to kind of stop with the separation of people in religion. That when someone's Muslim and someone's Christian, I know that Muslims don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God because there's no human that's on earth that can be as great to be a son of a great, amazing God, which I believe that it is true, but to each his own. So I think the more that we try to find other things to try to separate us and divide us and to cause conflict, then our mind's in the complete wrong place to begin with. I think that we should think more positively. And when this comes to any day-to-day routine or ritual, I think it's a good habit to practice to remain positive in the things that you think and the way that you solve problems in your life. Um, Normally, what we're accustomed to in this world and in this life is when there's an issue or a problem that arises, we look at one person is right and one person is wrong. But we've never been introduced to the idea that maybe I can be right for me and you can be right for you, and we both can be right, and there doesn't have to be a wrong. Therefore, we're not judging and we're not condemning. And at the same time, we don't have to choose to allow that information that the other person is trying to put on you to necessarily take place or take effect in your life. You can continue on with your life, and that person can continue their life, and you guys can both live in greatness in two different ways. Um, I think the reasons why we were made differently as far as human beings, as far as looks and appearances, is to we all somewhat resemble the original man and woman. Um, but we have slight differences, colors, slightness of a frown or a facial appearance or eye color or teeth placement or hair color or hair type. But ultimately, I think the differences are supposed to bring us closer to each other, and we start to realize that there can be someone that can be completely different than us that can ultimately be so similar to us on the inside, but completely different on the outside. For example, when I go through my day-to-day life, I try my best to do things like, good things to show people. I'm obviously a younger African American male. I have a lot of tattoos everywhere. I'm tatted everywhere. And I try to do things to show people a different perspective. And I think that's good because what it does is it makes people rethink their whole way of thinking. If you, young black man, see someone in help and see someone that needs help, and you're in a position to help them. Like I'm a mechanic, for example. By nature, I was very passionate about cars at an early age, and I got really good with working on cars. What I would do is, if I see someone that needs help with a car, I would do everything I can to try to help that person. If I see them on the side of the road and help them get their car fixed and get it up and running or get it pushed to the side, whatever I got to do. And when I do that, and then at the end, they usually say, "Here, I got a couple bucks for you if you want to follow me to the ATM or anything like that." I say, "No, don't worry about it." I say, "Don't give me anything." And they're like, "Well, why? You just helped me out." And I'm like, "Well, the thing is, when you do something for free for someone, it obviously shows that you, one, have no ulterior motives, and two, that makes them question, why did you do it? And three, that makes them rethink that, one, there are good people in this world, no matter what form they come in, and people will go out their way to help you, and that this world can be changed by one random act of kindness at a time, which is ARK, ARK for Noah's Ark, act of random kindness. And so I believe that's what our purpose and meaning in life to do and to be and to continue to create and be is people that just do good things just because it's the right thing to do. Some other wisdom I kind of want to teach you guys is dreams. I'm a very spiritual person, and I think I'm pretty good with interpreting dreams. And that's just me personally. This is my personal opinion. You guys can take it for, whether you guys want to believe it or look farther into it. I believe that the dreams that we have are God's way of showing us what's inside of our soul, the content of our soul. So in a dream, if you find yourself in a store and there's a bunch of money laying around and you look and you want to go grab it and take it and put it in your pocket, because in your dream, you kind of do what's true to your deep core, your inside. And what that does is show you that you're obviously not in the place that you need to be, because these are the kind of dreams that I have sometimes because I'm still working on myself. I'll have dreams that no one's looking and there's a bunch of money around, and I'll take it and stuff it and try to hide it and bring it back. That shows, one, that I obviously have a lust for money, and two, that I'm somewhere deep down inside lacking a sense of integrity, which is something that I do work on a daily basis. Don't get me wrong, I don't steal throughout the day. I don't steal at all from anyone. You can leave $1,000,000 around me and come back the next day, still be there. And I'm not perfect, like I said, but there's been a few situations where I feel like I could have done better. For example, when I went to Walmart one time and I was looking at a jacket. I went, looked at it, and it was a decent price, and I considered buying it later on. I left the area, I was still in Walmart, and I went back to that place, to the where the jacket was, and I looked on the floor and I seen $200. Now, there's been another situation that happened to me that's going to get me to circle back around to this situation. Now, a while back, I was living in Savage, Minnesota, and there was a Super America down the street, and I had $20 to my name. It was the last $20 I had. I didn't have anything important I needed to buy. I had food, I had something to drink, I had shelter. I didn't need any extra money. I went to the store and I gave the cashier a $20 bill. The cashier gave me change back as if I gave her $100. Later on that day, I contacted my brother and told him, like, look, I came up today, I got $100 for $20. And when I did that, the first thing he said to me, he was like, well, what if that was a test? And ever since then, I've been thinking about that. And I thought about that and I was like, you know what? That could possibly be a test. And he's like, you don't know if someone lost their job behind that, someone got in trouble and now they can't feed their family because of $100 that you absolutely really didn't even need. And Obviously God says when you do the right thing, you can never go wrong because he'll bless you tenfold. So ever since then, I've always been trying to increase my integrity as far as doing things. So with that $200 that I got from Walmart, I end up spending it on whatever, something that I obviously didn't need because I've been blessed with more than enough to have everything I need on a daily basis. So I want to find myself in a place where I can go all the way ahead and go and do all the way the right thing. Because I thought to myself when I found it, I was like, well, maybe someone in the store lost it and maybe they need to go grocery shopping for their family and that was their last money. And maybe they might have checked the front counter and see if anyone turned money in, even though it's a long shot. But when you turn money in, this is my excuse, obviously, is that when you turn cash in, a lot of times it doesn't make it back to the right place. But that's not the important part about it. The important purpose is what I do is how I get my blessings, not what anyone else does it. If I do the right thing, then someone else along the way does the wrong thing, that's between them and God. But as long as I do the right thing, then my part is taken care of. So that's what I say to people that question, if is it gonna end up in the right place and it's gonna make a difference? You just have to be the difference that you want to see in the world. If you want to see more people being nice to other people and strangers, be nice to strangers, and you'll continue to see that grow and you'll see that change. And also reading the word. I'm not in the best place right now. Well, I do read the word when sometimes I'm not as involved in it as I should, but I do plan on getting more into it. But I've been off and on with it, sometimes more stronger than others, but I do plan on getting into the word more because one thing that I realized about the word is when you read it, it plants a seed inside of your soul. And that seed that it plants in your soul, it can grow by continue to read the word and following the word. And in your life, in those days you're reading that word, pay attention to what you read because those situations will come to hand in a metaphorical way in the word. It'll come into fruition in your life while you're reading through that word through those days. And you'll know exactly what to do in those situations and you'll see it coming from a far away. So what I'm saying is read the word and help it plant that seed. And eventually that seed will grow into something that's amazing. You can end yourself in a place that you could have never expected to be. And they say, seek the kingdom of God and all things will be added unto you. So obviously when you seek the kingdom of God, God's kingdom is everything. So you don't seek the presence. I heard this from T.D. Jakes. A lot of people seek the presence that God can give you, like the gifts and the presence. Like he will give you this and he will give you that. Yes, those things come, but please believe that when you do these things, in order to actually get close to God, you will have to have a pure heart. If you're not doing it for the right reason, there's no point in doing it. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me take that back. If you're not doing it for the right reasons and you would like to do it for the right reasons, but for some reason inside you is telling you differently, what I do is pray to God to put you in a place where you can be there for the right reasons. And he will do that. He will help you and nurture your spirit to the point where when it comes time to be where you need to be at, you will be there genuinely and wholeheartedly. Just ask. That's all you have to do is just ask and pray. Pray it as much as you can, and he hears us. I believe God hears us no matter where we're at and what we're doing, anything we're thinking at all times. He always hears us, always. And like I said, seeking him wholeheartedly and genuinely is the reason why we need to do it. Because when you do it that way, that's when he's shown to you. And he will be shown to you no matter what. As long as you seek him truly with a genuine heart, you will be shown. So, and there was a verse. I'm really bad with quoting scriptures. I'm horrible with a lot of things like names and stuff that I need to get better at. But there was a verse that said, as I seen Abraham every day of his life, which was my good friend. Abraham and God was really close. Abraham was the only one that seen God face to face, they say. Well, not face to face, literally his face, but seen him in the presence of right there. And he's seen him every day of his life. And God saying, I saw you every day, but you never seen me. So that goes to show and tell you that he's always here with us. And the God that we believe in and that created us is very powerful, and he's omnipresent. He's forever, everywhere, all the time. He's always everywhere, all the time. He's never nowhere. He's in every particle of air we breathe, every speckle of dust that touches the ground. He's in every chemical in the cloud. He's in every drop of rain. He's in everything. He's part of everything. He's part of me. He's part of you. And one thing that kind of keeps me in check, that I look to, that I do to keep me from, falling too far away, is I go read near-death experiences. We're actually getting a phone call, so I'll come back for part 2.